Hello everyone, I'd like to talk to you about a just recently completed project here. The brackets that you see above me were custom brackets that we made in-house. These brackets are from PVC material that we pre-bent on site. We did it to save money and save time. In the following video, I'm going to show you the various stages that it took to make our brackets here. The first is the bending process and the second is the laminating process. What we have here is a homemade hot box, and we're just basically boiling water, and we have it hooked up with this braided hose into the back of this hot box. Now the hot box is we just have blankets around this hot box. It's nothing more than a half-inch plywood box made to receive, in this case, PVC trim, and it's filling the box up with steam. We let it cook for a good 45 minutes to an hour, and what it does is it basically fills our box up with enough steam to soften up our PVC. So if you come back here, basically we have them separated enough so that this way we can get even steam around them all rather than just stacking them up. But I got to close this up pretty quickly because we lose a lot of it and it gets hard. So we only have about, I said 40 seconds. That's probably more indicative of wood. If we were bending wood, we probably have less than that. So we only have about 15 seconds, 10 seconds. It's going to be a very quick process. We're just going to be stacking them. We're basically doing lamination. And we want it malleable enough to form brackets. And what we'll do is we'll pull it out of the hot box and then we'll shape our brackets. But the purpose is to pre-bend them, because if you try to bend these brackets, what they do is they tend to have a little bit of spring back. So we want to just pre-bend them so we avoid having that spring back. And then prior to setting the laminations with glue, you know, they'll already be shaped for us.
Yeah, not bad.
Once these cool up and set, they set up very quickly. Once they're done, essentially the goal is now to laminate these pieces. And this is what we're going to end up with. We're going to end up with 3 pieces that are laminated together. And what we end up doing is trimming off the sides, and it actually ends up looking like one uniform piece. So basically, guys, the whole purpose behind all this is that certainly we can send this out, shop drawings, to a fabricator, and they can put these items together for us. But you know what? We're taking it on ourselves. We want it done quicker and we want to do it less expensive. These brackets, if we sent them out, would be hundreds and hundreds of dollars to produce. And with a little planning involved and a little bit of ingenuity, we can execute and get these done for a fraction of the cost. What we're going to do right now is we're going to just take some screws and throw them through the back side of this back stock, and we're just going to protrude the screw out just a hair, enough to basically embed itself to the back side of this bracket, and it'll just hold it in position where we can clamp it and then drive it home. Again, this is just something that we can grab onto so we can embed the back side of this bracket so it doesn't shift around as we try to screw it into position. What I'm going to do is I'm going to embed caulk on the back side of this. I'm not really concerned about adhesion as much as I am about just oozing out some of that caulk around the edges so that we get some clean lines. Now I'm just going to press in a little bit so we get that back side of the head of that screw, the tip of that screw, to kind of just seat itself a little bit. The reason why we're clamping them instead of just screwing them is we don't want the bracket to push before we can actually torque it together, because screws have a tendency to separate the material before it compresses it. You don't want to use anything other than 100% acrylic caulk, because any silicone-based caulks or butyl-type caulks, they just don't have the same adhesion to PVC. This is a cellular PVC. It's a plastic-based, and you want to use something that's compatible. This is ready to be primed and painted. All right, so we're ready to mount a bracket on the back side of the house. Boujar has the bracket specific to this location. All of them have specific locations, mostly because we want to marry the angle of our wall and our roof together. So each one is made specifically for those areas. Bujar is going to hoist up this bracket and we're going to set it into position now. Good. So here's what's left. We're going to wipe our caulk clean, plug our holes, sand it, prime it, paint it, and this concludes our piece on customizing your own brackets. I don't know how much over here on my side is good.